In this section, we will create a login authentication system. We will create a web application where the user can register and log in. On the front end, we will also have some protected routes which can be only accessed after login. On the back end, we will be saving the user details. We will encrypt user password and we will also generate tokens. In this video, we will build the front end of our web application. We will start off by generating our project and add a simple login and register form. Let's start off by generating a project. So I'll say ng new and then the name of the project. So login auth. After the project is set up, let's go into the project and open it in a code editor. Alright, so now I am in my project and I am in the terminal of my code editor, and here I'll generate a new component called login, and that should generate a new component, and that should also add it to my app module. I'll also generate another component called register. Alright, so now that I have both the components, I'll add one of them to the app component HTML and run the app. So the name of the login component is app login. I'll save that and I'll run it saying ng serve. And that should start a development server on port 4200. So I'll go to localhost port 4200 and we should see login works. Great. Now we want to add Bootstrap to our project. So I'll go back to my terminal and do npm install save Bootstrap. By the time it's getting installed, I'll add the CSS to my Angular JSON. So the Bootstrap CSS will be added to the project. So I'll go to my Angular JSON and here find styles, which is an array, and in here add the styles, which is node modules bootstrap and the bootstrap main CSS. So the bootstrap CSS is added to the project. Great. Next, let's go to the login page, the login component HTML, and add some HTML. We want to add a login form which has an email and password field and a button to submit the form. So here I have some HTML which I'll be pasting here, and this is regular bootstrap login form which has an input which is of type text, because with Angular 6 we can do email validations directly with an email directive, which we will add. Let's add it here right now. Alright, so I have an input of type text which is the email field. I have another input which is of type password and a button which will submit the form. And I do not have any forms submit right now. We will add that, but first let's actually save this and run this. And there's our login form. Now we need to add some styling so that it looks a little better. So I'll add the styles. So in the login component CSS, I'll paste in some styles. So some basic styles, a class of full page, which will make the height of the container 100%. I have a login container which is of display flex and it is aligning the items centered. And I have a form with a max width of 330 pixel. So I'll save this and we should get something like this. Great, so this looks good. Now let's create the register form. Also, I see that I have login in the header and sign in on the button, so I'll change that. I'll make it login and I'll save that. Alright, now in the register form, I'll paste in the register form and again fairly straightforward form which has an input which is an email, or I have a input which is full name, an input which is email, and an input which is password, and submit button which will submit the form. All right, so I'll save this, and even this needs some styles, so I'll add the same styles and I'll save that. Go back to my page. I cannot see register right now because in my app component, the app component is pointed. I cannot see register right now because my app component is pointed to login component. So let's change that and I'll save that. And now we can see the register page. Great. Now we want to do one last thing. We want to get the data whenever the login button is clicked or whenever the register button is clicked.